Welcome back to another episode of QT with the Pod. Hello, everyone. We are back, and today we are talking about the great question: what are we? And I started thinking about this because I have been in a limbo for the past couple of months with this guy I was dating, and I was just like, what are we? What are we? In my head, of course. Um, I, it's kind of cringy to come out and ask someone directly, "What are we?" That's what I think. I'd so much rather have a guy ask me, "What are we?" or just ask me to be his girlfriend because, like, we're naturally progressing towards that. So that's just my preference. But so this guy I've been dating for the last couple of months recently went on a month-long trip back to his home country. And when he came back, like me, I'm the type of person who needs I need to be in constant communication with you. I need to have an emotional connection with you to feel connected to you. And I feel like that's normal, right? Talking to someone, understanding them having a place in your life is important to me. So when he was gone for that month, our communication slowed down drastically. Time zones. He had lost his phone while he was overseas as well, so he would have to wait until he connected to Wi-Fi to talk to me, so on and so on. So of course, on my end, I'm like, okay, we definitely regressed. I need to rebuild with you because I just don't. I We can't just hop in and act like, hey, everything's okay. That's just me. That's just how I operate. So he was trying to get touchy feely with me when he was back, like first night back, trying to get touchy feely with me. I wasn't into it because I was just like, let's talk, you know? And he decided to hit me with the, well, Quenisha, what are we doing? Like, what are we? And I was annoyed because I felt like he was just asking me that because typically girls are the ones who want the relationship. Like women, we are always wanting the guy and we're just trying to catch this guy and reel him in and make him ours. And when he asked me that, I was like, "What do you mean? What are we? Like we we are we're here right now. Like we what do you mean?" He was like, "Well, are we dating? Are we like what are we doing?" And I was like, "Well, right now we need to just talk and make I need to feel comfortable with you again. That's all it is." And I felt like he was asking me, "What are we?" to emotionally manipulate me, and that made me mad. So, we're going to talk about what are we, why some people feel the need to ask the question, why you should ask the question, should not ask the question, how to ask the question, etc. Disclaimer: everyone is completely different. These are my opinions. This is how I feel about the situation, and that's that on that. So, typically, when I think of someone asking, what are we? It is the person who wants a relationship asking, what are we? So if you are a fuck boy or fuck girl, like, this is the worst question your partner can ask you because it's just like, you want me to label this situation now? You want a commitment from me? That's weird because I was just kind of using you as a placeholder. Versus if you are the person asking that question, you clearly value this person, you've been investing time into this person, and you are ready for the label, the stability that comes with a title. And granted, having a title doesn't always mean that a relationship is stable, but it does placate the situation if it's a rocky one. And I mean, who wants to be in a perpetual state of instability? No human being likes that. None. It's scientifically proven. So you want exclusivity from this person. You want the world to know, and that is a-okay. You are more than entitled to feel this way, especially if you've invested a lot of time and energy into this person. When we invest in things, we care more about them, obviously. You make investments in stocks, you care about those stocks. You tend to go to your app, check those stocks, see what's going on. Mothers invest time into their children. They are invested into their lives. They may turn into helicopter parents because they are so invested and they want to make sure nothing happens to this human that I birthed and this human follows the right path. Okay? So that is normal. You've invested, you care, you want more. I can only imagine how nervous one could be when asking this question, though, because you're putting yourself out there and you're asking this person, hey, do you feel the same way about me as I feel about you? Hoping that they feel the same way. I feel like a bit of nervousness is a-okay because it's a vulnerable position to be in. But if you don't feel like it's a safe space, then maybe you shouldn't be asking them what you are. Maybe that shouldn't even be on your agenda. Furthermore, if asking them that question, if you're afraid to ask that question because you're afraid of the answer, even better reason to go and ask the question, because if that's going to scare them off, you want to scare them off. If this person cannot imagine being with you exclusively, then sis or bro, you don't want them anyways if they're scared of the possibility of being with you. So this is what comes along with this. So another quick story time. I was dating this other guy for about, I want to say it was like 4 to 5 months. And around like the fifth month, he asked me like straight up, like, because he had been like indirectly asking me, are you talking to other people? Are you doing this? And I always just brushed it off because I'm hashtag a little toxic, but not really. So I would always brush it off, but then it was one night, like we were out at a restaurant and we were eating, and he was just like, what are we doing? What are we? And I was like, what do you mean? We're eating. And he said, stop playing with me. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, what are we doing, Quenisha? Like, what are we? And I was like, we're exclusive. And then he said, what does that mean? And let me tell you what that means. So if you ever hear someone say this or you want to say it to someone, go ahead and say it. When I say I'm exclusive, then I am just telling that person, I'm only dating you. I'm only interested in you. And I just want to keep progressing with only you. I don't want to be this person's girlfriend though, because there's a level of responsibility that comes with it. Now I am responsible for you in a sense. I have to make sure that I am there for you. I'm available for you. I have to be your person. It just comes with a level of commitment that I would hope shifts when you go from dating someone to being in a relationship with them. Not, I don't want to have a relationship with everyone. I'll date people, but I don't want to be in a relationship with everyone. So, the reason I told him that was because I know I didn't want to be in a long term relationship with him. But he took that and he was like, okay, we're dating exclusively. And then eventually I broke up with him because I was like, I, I'm leading you on now. So that's the end of that story time. And I think it's important when you're questioning, when you feel like you are questioning your place in someone's life, first ask yourself, what do you want? At the end of the day, it's about what you want. If you don't even really want to be with this person and you're asking them, hey, what are we? You're just doing it for validation, I guess, and not because you really want to be with that person. So, hop back to current guy I'm dating. When he asked me, what are we? I was upset because one, we hadn't talked in a long time, and then two, I don't even think I really want to have a, he's not listening to this podcast. I don't really want to be in a relationship with him. Um he is not someone that I could see myself with for 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, even marrying. I just don't see it because it hasn't progressed to that level yet. So ask yourself first, do I even want to be in a relationship with this person? I think sometimes I'll say I get caught up in trying to make this person obsessed with me, wondering why this person is not chasing me. Why is this person being aloof? This is how I can make them obsessed with me. And I'm glad that he went away for a month because then I was like, I don't even like him like that. I don't even like him like that. What was I doing? So sometimes we can get too caught up in what the other person is feeling and wondering how the other person feels about us instead of worrying about your goddamn self. Mind your own business. Do you like him? Yes. Okay. Keep doing what you're doing. Do you not like him? Okay. Do whatever you want to do. Stop living for other people. Period. Okay. Another thing I want to add. So if you are the person asking this question, you should be prepared for the truth. Whether the truth is, oh, I feel like we're in a relationship, or whether the truth is, I don't really want to be with you. Because if you guys are now moving into a relationship, then now you need to be able to adjust your life accordingly and set those expectations and live up to their expectations as well. Versus if they say, nah, we nothing, you have to be prepared to move on with your life. You can't, they don't pull the, okay, well, I'm fine with just being friends with benefits, or okay, I'm fine with that. It's okay to have a standard and it's okay to adhere to your standard. Sometimes I feel like the cool girl is the one that's portrayed as the winning one, right? The one who will hang out with all the boys, the one who will just be friends with benefits, not the one who will say, I need you to do this, this, and this, and this. The girl with standards is never the popular representation of a girl or whatever. But don't stick around to try to prove your worth to him. If they did not deem you as relationship worthy or see you as a potential partner for them already, they won't see it later. I hate to see those stories or hear these stories about like, I realized she was the one 3 years later after I had went through the entire city of Houston. No, I don't want you now. What do you mean you mean I'm the only one that was dumb enough to actually sit around and wait for you? So, don't sit around and wait for no one. No man. Time waits for no one. If you listen to my earlier episode, you know that time is a luxury item. You cannot afford to waste time. You just can't. You don't have money to buy time because time is so priceless. Next point. Don't push and ask what the issue is or try to change yourself for this person. So, one, don't try to prove yourself, but also don't try to change yourself. You changing yourself to appeal to this other person is another form of desperation. You are putting this person on a pedestal and you are basically saying, I am unworthy. How can I be more worthy so that you will want me? You are not confident in yourself. And I'm not saying that in a mean way, but it's the truth. If you feel the need to plead with someone, tell them that, ask them what they're looking for in a relationship and how you can change to fit their mold of a relationship, you don't love yourself because you wouldn't be willing to change the essence of you to please another person. There's someone out there who's going to love you just the way you are. Girl, sometimes, side note, when I'm recording my podcast, I'm like, "Ugh, you need a, I'm listening to myself and I'm like, thank you. I need to tell myself that. But then also, sometimes I don't listen to myself. But do not ask, plead, push the situation, nothing. Just move on. It is what it is. Because again, at the end of the day, it is about you and what you want. Everyone is selfish. Everyone should be trying to serve their own needs. So that means you will eventually meet a person who, when you do ask, what are we, or the conversation comes up, both will come to a mutual understanding and it will be a mutual feeling like we both want this. This is what we both want to do. And not, oh, well, Brad doesn't like me. I'm still just going to be friends with benefits because eventually I'm sure he'll change his mind about it because, like, what's not to like about me? And then you start questioning. You're like, well, I'm A, B, and C. Like, who wouldn't like that? Brad doesn't like it. Brad doesn't like you enough to see it. And it's A-okay. Let Brad do what he got to do and you do what you got to do. Be okay with walking away because at the end of the day, you're hashtag worth it. So, there are some there are some alternatives to what are we. So I did reference Urban Dictionary, of course, to get a clear definition, and I'm just going to talk about what Urban Dictionary says because we must reference the great Urban. So what are we? What are we doing? Are we a thing? Why are we doing this? All those are alternatives to what are we? And I said earlier that I don't ever directly ask the question if I feel the need to wonder where I am in a person's life. I'll never ask. So because again, I am hashtag toxic. I will instead bring up other guys and dating other guys and see how that person reacts to it. So if you're looking for a roundabout way of getting the answer to your question, that is always a good one. So back to Urban Dictionary. So what are we? Just this general description. So it is defining a relationship in your opinion to get the dating process going, and then they have a sample conversation. So John says, "Babe, what are we?" Mary says, "What do you want to be?" John says, "Yours." Now, this can be, I don't know the direct relation, I don't know the relationship between John and Mary, but John could be a playboy and just be keeping it general, saying yours, or John could actually be a really sweet guy and he's like, I want to be yours. So that is open to interpretation. But then Urban Dictionary is so kind to provide what not to say to the question, what are we? So do not say, what do you mean? Do not say, huh? And do not say IDK because those things aren't nice, apparently. So do not say that. I'm going to get ready to wrap up this episode. So, just to summarize what we've talked about so far, but to summarize more so for myself, why this situation came up, why I was triggered when I was asked the question, what are we doing? What are we? Because it was coming from an inauthentic place. Why people ask that question, why people run away from that question, why you should be able to accept the truth, and how you should react as well. So, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Please make sure to connect with me on Instagram at BitQuiqui. And there is a survey link in the show notes that I would truly, truly, truly appreciate it if you guys can complete. This is a way for me to get an idea of my audience who's listening to my podcast and get your contact info so I can send you some cool stuff and keep you updated with everything. So please take 3 minutes, 2 minutes to complete the survey in the show notes for me, and I will forever, forever be grateful to you. Thank you. Bye.